Hey everybody, this is Toot the Barber and welcome to the Sports Shop.
Look at that, we are back at Forte Hair Salon, Broad and Stenton. It's the Sports Shop. And the usual suspects, Eytan Shander, Geoff Mosher, Toot the Barber. We're joined by, fellas in the house, but we're joined by a couple of special guests. Anthony Gilbert, Slam Magazine.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Now,
sir.
Just popping in here, you saw what was going on, and you're not even getting a cut like our next guest, Brandon Best, iHeart Radio mogul right here.
Let's do it.
But Ant, we actually had to pry Brandon in, like, come on, hang out with us. Ant just saw this on Twitter. I was like, maybe they're talking some basketball, so I need to come in here and kind of set the record straight.
Why would we be talking Sixers?
Well, here's the thing. As much as I want to start talking about Ben and talking about JoJo, talking about what this squad is here in Philadelphia, what happened Thursday night to Lonzo Ball, I felt bad for this young man. Now let me say this, before we start.
He got bealed.
I'm a fan of him, I root for him, but I feel bad for this young man right now.
He got a taste of Chicago.
I think he got a taste of the NBA.
Yeah.
Like what he needs to
Patrick
every
Beverly's
day.
from the South Side.
Right.
Time to grow up. But listen, you know that's the way his game is,
Yeah.
Patrick Beverly, right?
Yeah.
But he took it to another level
he
because
no
it was
question.
Lonzo Ball.
Yeah.
And that's what we've
Exactly.
talked about, that this kid is wearing a target on his
Yep.
back. And everybody can say his dad's doing the right thing and being a great dad and all, but look, game one, you can tell they're coming after him.
In game two, it's going to be worse because he doubled down. After the game, LeVar Ball actually said, you know what? Hey, same thing happened in Vegas. My kid came out, didn't have a good game. And then guess what? He got MVP. So it's...
Well, who they play next? It don't matter.
Now he's playing grown men.
Oh, Kyrie Irving gonna get at him. He gonna get at him. He gonna have to defend. He might not get at him defensively.
They're going to need a win.
He's gonna have to get
Both
at
teams
him.
are going to be looking for
Kyrie
a win
gonna get at
because the Celtics actually might lose to the Sixers.
Yeah, they got some trouble ahead of them there.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, like I don't know. There's been a conversation about LeVar, Lonzo, how much LeVar is hurting him, and I get a lot. Like I get a lot, and I didn't have as much. I didn't think the shoe thing would work, but I got the idea of it. Like I got the premise of it. I just didn't think it would come to fruition like he thought, marking it up so much. But I didn't. That's not something where I'm thinking like, oh, he's hurting his son. Getting on First Take the day after your son is ass and gets his ass beat up and chewed up and spit out by Patrick Beverly, I'm thinking that might not be the best thing.
He's put such expectations on this boy. It's crazy.
I think if he had a double-double because he had 9 rebounds and basically 4 assists, you also got to blame his teammate, Brandon Ingram, the second overall pick from last year. He basically passing the ball, he was missing shots.
Yeah. They're not a good team.
Right.
The Lakers aren't a good team.
They are not a good team.
Yeah.
I think when Gary Payton first came to the league, he averaged his first 2 years and all that. He averaged 6 points. Nobody not talking about that. This is the fact that matters.
He had vets on that team, though. Gary Payton. He had vets.
No, he didn't.
He got a
Yeah.
plan to. He got a plan to.
He had Askew. He had McMillan.
Wow, and
They
ask
can do
you.
Mr. Sonic. Come on now.
Yeah, I'm just saying they were on the squad.
But this Lakers team, though, that's the thing. With
They
the
don't
Lakers
have any
squad.
vets.
They don't have anything right now.
Kyle Kuzma.
Yeah, that's about it. That's about it.
I hear a lot in this chair.
Utah.
I hear a lot in this chair and people standing around here. Somebody said the Lakers are gonna be the 8th seed out west, but
Wow.
I think they crazy. You know what I mean? At the last.
Yeah, but based off what?
Not this year.
That would be based
Based
off
off
ball.
of LeVar Ball.
Right.
They're still in the building process.
But Lonzo or LeVar?
LeVar.
That's what I'm asking. Like, are you basing it off of LeVar saying they're going to be an 8 seed, or are you basing it off watching Lonzo being like they're going to be an 8 seed?
I don't know what they was basing it off of, but I told them they was crazy.
They still in
I
the
told them they was
building
crazy.
process, man.
Well, unfortunately, perception is reality. So, people think and they believe the hype. And, before the games start, and then you look at the game last night, the Clippers aren't an upper echelon team. And they handled the Lakers last night.
Yeah.
And Patrick Beverly, like you were saying, he set the tone early. Like, just like you do on the playground. If somebody chumps you, which is what happened, it gets up here.
That's right.
You know, and it's like,
That's what makes game 2 very important. Because
Absolutely.
either this kid is going to kind of, do the turtle in the shell thing, or he's going to come out like he did in the summer league, and he's going to try to ball. So I think it's, no pun intended. Yep.
yeah. Well, I'm gonna ask
Comp
y'all.
is better. That's the only thing we got to look at, right?
Like
But
you
you're
said
right.
real quick, I think when you said he set the tone, not only for the team, I think he set the tone for the league.
Absolutely.
So I think everybody else now is like, you know what? Patrick did it. We're going to show LeVar
Yeah,
something. So
digging
everybody
his chest like a jar of Vaseline,
beat
right?
him up.
But this is what I love about this whole thing is that now it's an added element to this league. And it's not that they needed it, but it's just why the NBA is so successful is that you have these little storylines. So now it's not just, the BS bullshit Lakers are on and we're forced to watch a team that ESPN and TNT love because it's the Lakers. It's actually who's gonna take Lonzo's lunch tonight.
That's right.
Like who's gonna go out there and say that's my seat.
This is the show within the show.
That goes back to the way the game. It always was a game inside of a game. You know what I'm saying? It always was.
No, I don't think that he's going to be a ball dominant.
Well, I got a question for everybody.
With the Lakers, with the Sixers, it's always been a game inside the game.
What you got?
Well, my question is like, there's probably about 3 or 4 point guards, like since probably 1979, that have come in and really contributed, and it starts with Magic Johnson.
Like right away?
Right away, who came in, but he had Cap, Penny had Shaq, you know what I'm saying?
It's always been a game inside the
but
game.
Jason Kidd, right? He
Jason
won co-rookie of
Kidd,
the year with, someone, Grant Hill.
with Dallas, he had the big 3 back then, but
You count a
it's
Kyrie,
rare.
who
It's
played
rare.
well.
He played well, but he didn't play
the team
to
stunk.
that elite level, right? So it's only like a few point guards that can come in and really contribute right away, which is why I don't think the Sixers should have drafted Markelle Fultz.
Oh, hold on.
Hold
on a second. Hold on. See, that was a setup. That was a setup. This is a pro right here. Don't be fooled. Anthony Gilbert
fall
is
for
a
it.
pro right here. That was a setup because he knew that he had to get that one in there.
Everybody is like, oh.
Right. And you know how the shot works. Like, we're not going to let that go.
No. Where do you think they should have went?
All right, so I liked Ball when he was a senior in high school, but then I went down to Duke last year and I saw Jason Tatum, and I thought that for the Sixers to play positionless basketball, which is a thing that Devon and I really like.
Yeah.
If you look at Milwaukee, he would have fit right into like a 2, 3, 4 position. Or if they wanted a point guard to kind of spell Ben Simmons or Jared Bayless or whoever else is on, then you go Dennis Smith Jr.
Okay.
See, here's the thing.
And it's easy to say that now because
Dennis Smith Jr., I think a lot of
but-
people watching the game knew
like
that
Dennis
this
Smith
kid
Jr.,
had
yeah.
talent and skill. I don't know why he fell outside of maybe injury concern. But that's
injury
something
for sure.
That's something that you look away from. You know.
He's a high energy, like do it all type of guy. He made Nerlens Noel look like an all-star the other day.
Yeah, which is difficult. All right, so Brandon, you heard Ant's reasoning there as far as away from Fultz. So you were definitely one of the people that said, "Oh," and he said, "Not." You buying it?
I like Fultz. I think that for what the Sixers wanted to do and making that decision to get to that spot to grab, I think you had to go with him. I was more of a Fox guy, to be honest.
Speed.
I think at the end of the season, that's going to prove itself. But I like Fultz, though. Maybe not in the past couple weeks.
Well, now everybody sees the free throw, and they're like,
But
he's
he also doesn't have to do too much on this team with those anchors of Simmons, Redick,
Which will benefit
Covington, and Embiid. It helps him to not rush himself, and he has plenty of time to get ready and to get there. But I just felt that, like, for the Sixers' immediate need, because in this city everyone's starved for the playoffs, I thought Tatum or Dennis Smith Jr.
When you say though immediate need, right? They need, because Ben Simmons is running the point, but defending the 4, sometimes 3, right?
Yeah.
They had Redick, but who are you going to play at your combo guard? Bayless? That's not your future.
No.
So, but you're saying immediate need. Tatum would not be the immediate need because Covington, as you saw, is the guy that plays that role that
you
Tatum
could
will
play like a little hybrid small ball and play them together.
Play Tatum at the 4.
Because Yeah, because Embiid's
you also
not
have
always going to
Dario.
be on the floor, and Okafor's definitely not going to be on the floor.
He's out.
I don't want Tatum playing the
out.
floor defending against some of the best fours in this game, though. I mean, I know with Embiid,
Yeah, but you know what?
You can give up a
in
little
that
bit, but
style, both teams just run and get up, and it's a shootout.
Yeah, but okay.
It's kind of like the Houston Oilers.
That speaks the run and shoot.
they never won anything.
Ernest Givens got his nose broke running that. But here's the thing, though. Like, I understand the reasoning is there. I understand it, but I think that if you look at it, it's almost unfortunate, right? Because you're playing off, not in a negative sense, but you're playing off the lack of patience that we all, as basketball fans in the city, we have now a lack of patience because of the obvious. But if you look at this over the next, like Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid are going to be really good so long as they're on the floor, right? Ben's going to be on the floor. Joe's the question. But for the next 3 or 4 years, we're talking about all-stars. We're talking about anchors. We're talking about one guy of the two, maybe two. We're talking about like MVP candidates. So if you look at this team in 4 years, I think Fultz, we go back and say, oh yeah, you get why he was drafted number one.
Pick. Yeah.
That's why he's
It's
taking
the
right
long-term
now
play. It's the long-term
Yeah, so
play.
what's
And
wrong with
I
a long-term
agree.
play?
Trust the process.
And that's what a draft is about, really.
Trust the
I know it ain't
process.
going like this. I know it ain't going like this. It's the next Magic and Kareem with Byron Scott right there. That's,
All right, now
that's
see,
what it
I'm
is.
not.
The next Magic and Kareem.
You know, you got me there.
If the Kings were offering, they could have got 2 good players out of this. Like they could have got Dennis Smith Jr. and Luke Kennard. And the Sixers would be a totally different team.
But next year, you know, you might be
got
looking
him
at
over
a high pick. You know, kid out of Missouri. You know, I mean,
See?
you know,
So, you want to hedge your bets, right? You want the short-term plan now with Tatum, but then you want the long-term next
Exactly.
year.
I don't know if Anthony trusts the process or not now.
Like, you gotta remember, Fultz is learning to play without the ball. He's he's
Right.
learning to play a whole different game. That takes time. And I understand, like, you don't want to have patience because
At the end.
been patient, but you gotta remember, like that was my fear with the process. Was like people were gonna expect, automatically we're a championship contender. Even when you're good, you're still gonna take time to build.
Right.
Like the OKC wasn't a championship contender as soon as they had Durant and Westbrook. It took time to build that team.
Well, yeah, I think that's the thing. This team is, if they're lucky to make the playoffs, but that shouldn't be a bad thing.
no.
Like, that should be a good thing.
Yeah, but
7-8 seed.
how long does Fultz go before he's frustrated that he's playing off the ball?
I think he's frustrated
He's not playing.
already,
I do too. And
but he's gonna get there.
yeah, but does he stay content with that, or does he? I want out.
He's 19, so I think his
You
expectations.
can't even predict anymore.
Right,
Like,
yeah.
who would have thought Kyrie wanted
border
out
to
all of a
facilitate,
sudden?
though.
But
You never know.
that's like
that's
a
a good
4-year,
point.
5-year down the road
But he
thing.
wasn't
I would
brought
think. I would think.
He wasn't brought here to be on the ball though. He's
Brought in to facilitate.
Right.
They told him.
But you know
Ben
what?
Simmons is the point
Eventually,
guard. He's coming off the bench,
he
though.
might start to spell at the point guard and play some natural point guard. So
Mark my words. By January, February, he's gonna be starting.
He's going to be starting by 20, 25
he's
games
gonna be
in.
starting.
I believe that.
It's more just
No, I
getting
don't
them
think so,
accustomed
yeah.
to the
He
team.
can
and
And
go.
the
the
shoulder.
yeah.
And the shoulder.
Yeah, health-wise, too.
He can go.
Starting ASAP.
Right.
and of course, management, starts to talk and say, hey, that number one pick, he needs to play.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I watched the same thing happen with Kobe. So
Although, to be fair, management the last couple of years has been like, yo, that number one pick, he
He
ain't
doesn't
playing.
need to play.
he doesn't need to play.
Sit his ass.
Let's get the guy that never played basketball on our team.
So we're looking at this, we're winding down here, final couple of minutes or so, and just big picture about this squad in the NBA, because I think that it's not just a local show that we're doing here. We talk about things that pop around the world of sports and beyond, but it's great when the two merge. It's great when the Eagles are the most talked about team, rightfully so, because of the quarterback is the MVP. It's
Say
great
that then.
when you've got the Flyers now a buzz, but the Sixers are like the darlings. You've got them and the Wolves that are the young kids of the NBA.
Yeah. And you can sprinkle a little OKC in there and Hoodie Mellow.
Yeah, but I think,
don't
they're
forget
seasoned.
Milwaukee, though.
Like
Don't
they're
not
veterans.
forget
Yeah,
Milwaukee.
They push that Milwaukee narrative with Giannis.
I would too.
Who I love. mind you.
Giannis is great.
I
Brogdon.
still think that the Sixers are more of a marketable team
I agree.
when you look at everything. Right, because it's
We were
Milwaukee.
just talking about young talent and teams on the rise, and I think Milwaukee is better than people think.
I like the edge that Embiid has. Like when he tried to dunk on he just really went out. Like he has the braids.
Gortat was
no, the other kid. He used to play for the Sixers.
Smith?
That's right.
He like really tried to take his head off.
What he saw was Jason Smith, but what he was envisioning was one of the team doctors, and he was like, "I'm gonna show him."
Nah, he was envisioning Okafor in practice.
Oh man.
MIA.
Yeah, the Sixers have national attention.
Right.
They are.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It was the number one. Yeah. No, Josh, you're right, because I remember it was after Embiid's preseason debut, it was the number one story on ESPN.com. What Embiid, just the fact that he was out there. So this is not going away.
Yeah.
Someone needs to do a search, an internet search, on how many times a coach, a player from a different market, college football, basketball, college basketball has said, trust the process the last 2 years.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah,
it's
everybody.
become a phenomenon. That it's not
Here's my
just
question.
Philadelphia.
Is it totally trademarked, or can we start making money off it? Like, is there a way we can make
We have
shirts?
to win.
He left a lot of money on the table.
We have to win, and then it'll be a Philly thing.
We owe Sam Hankey for that, man. Really, Sam
No
Hankey.
comment.
Right? All right, hold on.
We sniffed you out as anti-process a while ago.
But there's something else brewing here that we have to bring up.
Don't press the red button.
I have to.
8 times.
Wait. Do you not know me? Is this the first time?
Yeah,
we've met?
that's true.
And
Go
again,
ahead.
And
Go
again, you don't bring something up. Like, there's this old rule in a book or a movie, like you don't bring up a gun unless you plan on shooting it.
And using it.
And you don't bring something up like this unless you planned on me bringing it up at some point. So there's some sort of dynamic here between Ant and Toot with MJ. I don't really know what it is.
There's going to be forever an underlying theme between he and I when you talk about Michael Jeffrey Jordan.
So what happened here? Are you just trying to convince him that like LeBron is
he's
no good?
drunk over Michael Jordan.
I love LeBron.
No. He's drunk over Michael Jordan.
You heard Michael say that he's tired of the super teams, right?
Yeah.
Even though he played on one.
No, but
and begged and pleaded Phil Jackson to sign Dennis Rodman. Please, Phil.
See?
Please.
He's got that look. Hold up. You start. Look. Nobody can win when Toot starts talking Michael Jordan. Go ahead. I already know what happens.
Michael Jordan was the best player on his super team, and he didn't leave to go anybody else to go on a super team. So that's what makes Michael Jordan.
But when you beg Jerry Reinsdorf, like, listen, I'm leaving unless
Unless
you
you sign
sign
Dennis Rodman.
He would have
Dennis Rodman.
Right. He would have won 8 straight. If he didn't want.
But you'll never say like. You'll never use the narrative, well, you know, he did quit to go play baseball for a year.
Yeah.
What great champion does that?
But he came back first game.
But he left.
In the garden.
See, how did this get into bashing Michael Jordan? I blame you.
I don't want to bash Michael.
Hey,
why are we blaming you?
I will say this. I will say this.
He said that.
This is how it all started, just to give you a little genesis about this whole shenanigans here, right? One day I was in here and I said, Toot, who's the best player, the greatest basketball player ever? And he looked at me like, Michael Jordan. And then he posed a question back to me and I said, I don't think there is a best player, but if I was to say that it was a best player, you have to start the conversation with either Lou Alcindor, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, or Wilt Chamberlain.
Right.
And we've been fighting ever since.
Oh, okay. I'll settle this right now. There's 2 separate categories. There's best all time, and then there's non-center best all time.
No.
That's it. I mean,
All right,
Wilt,
so-
like
Look,
Wilt,
he got
how
that
you
look
gonna
on his
argue
face.
Wilt?
Hold on.
You gotta take the
Look at
bands
Toot.
out.
Everybody did whatever he wanted.
Hold on.
You can't compare
hold
Mike
on.
and Wilt. Like it's him. I thought he was gonna go LeBron or something.
No.
He's talking about Wilt, man.
Yeah, but I heard Dr. James Naismith
Will-
was amazing
Will-
on the beach
Will
basket,
or
man.
Kareem not better than Mike.
All right, just really quick, because at Eytan,
yeah.
Geoff, I know both of you guys are into hip-hop and pop culture. Everything Michael Jordan accomplished, pop culture references, sneakers, mentions in hip-hop, film, MVPs, scoring titles, championship, all-stars. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar did this same exact thing. References in hip-hop, sneakers, film. He did one with Bruce Lee. Come on, man.
Right,
Your
cut you off.
homie did a
Just
film with Bugs Bunny.
Without Magic Johnson.
My guy did one with Bruce.
Don't kill Space Jam now.
Hold on, listen. Without Magic Johnson, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar would have been gone.
You ever heard of the Milwaukee Bucks?
All right.
You ever heard of the Milwaukee Bucks?
Never heard of them.
1983.
Where did they
Without
play?
Magic Johnson,
Milwaukee.
Kareem would've been gone.
You ever heard of UCLA?
I
You
smell
ever
a
heard of
sequel.
UCLA?
You know what
gonna continue this, man. Like because we ain't gonna
the triangle
never
offense.
get to the
Phil
end of
Jackson.
this, man.
This is it. This is a perfect opportunity now to set up a tease for next week.
Spin-off.
Right, exactly.
Cosby Show
We're
in
not
different
there yet.
world.
We're not there. We got to build this thing up first before you take
I
this
hope
in
our
a spin-off.
spin-off's in a different
Man, all you
order.
gotta do,
No,
all
you could
gotta
do
is go
Live
listen to
as
do
we
two
are each and every
simultaneous.
Friday at the Forte Hair Salon on Broad and Stenton. It's the Sports Chop. Chopping it up at the Sports Shop. One of these days I'll get that right. Geoff Mosher, Toot the Barber, Eytan Shander. We want to thank Brandon Best, Anthony Gilbert for hopping in as well.
Thank you.
Thank you, fellas. Musa as well. And the fellas.
I'll let
Thanks, y'all,
y'all,
for
man.
popping in, man. Appreciate it.
Thanks for coming
Good job,
up,
guys.
bro.
Live at the shop every Friday.